Hi everybody, this is Chris Folland here and welcome to TeamUp.hq.com. I am excited to be here today with legend, icon and rock star Mr Michael Callejas, and we're in Takapuna Beach in Auckland, New Zealand at the Spencer and Byron Hotel, and I feel fortunate to be here chatting to Michael today. Just a little bit of background, Michael has made more than $1 million US in his commissions through his business, and so I'm excited to spend some time. Welcome.
I'm excited too.
And obviously, you know, we both love the business, the network marketing, and because it allows us to do stuff that other people just can't do. So I know you've got a wonderful lifestyle, you've gone to places and seen some things and had some experiences that other people just aren't able to do. And just give us a little bit of background, what's happening recently or things that you've done that have really turned you on because of your business that people out there might find interesting. So what have you been up to recently?
Recently I've been spending a lot of time just doing the things that I really like, and obviously before USANA I had some hobbies. I'm a big hockey fan. The NHL, I follow that a lot, and Los Angeles doesn't really have a big hockey following, so I try to evangelize, and get people to come to the games. And a goal was always to be a season ticket holder, and of course that was that wasn't a big deal. But just going to the games and spending time with my friends, and we used to watch the games on television and think it'd be great to be there close up, to watch these games.
Was that when Gretzky was playing?
Yeah, 1993. That's when Gretzky took the Kings to the Stanley Cup Finals, and of course they lost to the Canadiens. But I've always been a fan. Ever since then, I always followed the game, and I thought maybe one day they can do it. And it was nice that last year they actually had a chance to go all the way to the finals and actually win the cup, which was great. I mean, it was a dream come true. Yeah. But if I didn't have the money or the time to really go out there and see it, it would have been a heartbreak for me not to be able to see there. And tickets are expensive to go to these games. For finals.
Especially finals.
Definitely. Some of my friends were like, "Oh, I wish I could be there." And that's when I started thinking, "Well, why aren't you there?" They weren't willing to sacrifice the lollipop today for the bicycle tomorrow. And I did sacrifice a lot in the very beginning of USANA. Missing games, missing time with friends, stuff like that. And even though it seems like a lot, 1 year, 2 years. In the game of life, it's truly not that much. Yeah, when
you look at a lifespan and you just take 2 years in there, it's just tiny compared to everything else.
Exactly.
Rewards on the other end.
Exactly.
All right, so you're a major sports fan, and I know you were in Australia last week.
Yeah, traveling is a big part of my life now too. I've actually been in about 12 different countries. Just last year alone. And
last year alone?
Yeah. And
so where did you go?
I was in Australia, I was in Mexico, I was in Belize, I was in El Salvador. I spent some time in Canada, just to name a few. But just visiting a lot of states in the U.S. too. There's so many places to see, and because our business is obviously home-based, and I do a lot of duplication and working with teams. It doesn't feel like I'm really neglecting my business when I travel. And I think that obviously the internet has made the world a lot smaller, where we can still get a lot of work done and be productive online. So
that's what you're saying. You can work your business. You can go to Belize and take your laptop and your phone and still be connected as if you were in LA or with your team.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay. Right, very cool. I know people look at you because you've got a high profile within the company. You are a rock star, and they're going, somehow it seems that people must just treat you different, because they see you, and I don't know, do people think that it must have been easy for you in the beginning, that somehow you just knew thousands of people, or you came into the organisation with, this established group, or, what's actually happened? Take me back to the beginning, and what was it like?
Yeah, it still feels like the beginning, to be honest, and I know that sounds strange. I've been doing this for about 6 years now, but it still feels like day one, every single day. Like the challenges don't change. You're still going to have skeptical people. You're still going to have people who have the same questions, and they feel like their questions are unique. It's always the same questions. So for me in the very beginning, I didn't come in with an established group. I did start from zero in USANA, and that's really tough. Like now looking back, I think how did I even do it?
Yeah.
You know, like it's really hard to think. I think that a lot of it is luck. And some people, when they hear the word luck, they think, oh, he got lucky, like rolling the dice, rolling a 7.
Yeah.
But to me, luck is laboring upon correct knowledge. And I think that's a big thing. You know, you work at the right things consistently.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, I did start with friends and family.
Yeah.
You know, sponsored a few people. Some stuck with the business, and some dropped out right away.
Yeah.
And you know, in the very beginning, it's very discouraging. You know, you lose one person, you feel like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
And for me, some of the people that I enrolled initially, you know, kind of faded out and dropped out, and I thought, man, you know, it's my fault. You know, I did them wrong, or whatever the case was. But I had a choice. You know, I could say, well, this is going to be the end of my business because they're gone, or I can move forward and inspire them, and hopefully that they return one day.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. You know, some of the people that I initially enrolled who dropped out are now gold directors in my business.
Really? Okay.
So yeah, so some people took like a 2-year hiatus and came back and started building the business 2 years later.
Because you had this mental, you had this mindset that it was up to you to be successful as an inspiration to other people, rather than buying into whatever was going on in their mind at the time.
Exactly, and people need to remember that this business is not a mile; it's a marathon. You know, people think like, oh, I've been doing this for a year, and I'm like, well, this is not a 1-year business. You know, you have to think this is a 10-year to 20-year business.
Yeah.
And you know that's the way that I view it. So I didn't feel so frustrated because I wasn't setting myself up to succeed in my first year. Makes sense? I set myself for a 10-year business plan. I said I want to be in this for 10 years. I really want to dedicate it. I was sold on Usana.
Yeah.
I knew it was a good company.
Yeah.
And what were my other options?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I didn't come from like a wealthy background or anything like that.
Yeah.
So my other options was continue at my job. And try to save up money and start a real business with a 95% failure rate.
Yeah.
Or, you know, work with what I have. You know, a home-based business in an industry that's growing, in an industry that's getting more popular every single day, and it provides, I think, a great service to a lot of people who have needs.